This video presentation is going to be all about a very common and versatile material, glass. It is in houses as windows and insulation, but also used for decoration and modern technologies. First, I am going to go into the history of glass. Naturally occurring glass, like volcanic glass, has been used to create objects like knives, jewelry, arrowheads, and money before people knew how to make glass. The first glass was produced in 3500 BC in Egypt. Countries in this area were known for their glass production. At first, it was hard to create glass because the furnaces were too small and barely hot enough to melt the raw materials of glass. In 1st century AD, glass production was revolutionized by the creation of the blowpipe. Glass manufacturing flourished after that throughout Europe. Its most popular use was for stained glass windows in churches and cathedrals. Glass is around us everywhere, from buildings to accessories to insulation. Glass will forever be a part of our society because of its versatility. One of its main purposes is windows. It works so well for windows because glass allows light to pass through it with no noticeable change. Light is one of the most important things people utilize each day. It not only illuminates the dark, but enhances the mood of a room or situation. Along with this, glass acts as a protective barrier from the outside world. It does a great job regulating temperature by keeping the air inside of a room and the weather outside. It also keeps insects and other animals outside in their environment. Glass is also used to create light bulbs. It is the perfect material because of some of these same properties. Light can escape the bulb while holding some of the thermal energy in at the same time. Light bulbs are one of the most important inventions for modern society. They lengthen our days. Without glass, we would not have our computer or phone screens that revolutionize technology each day. Glass warrants people with terrible vision to see even though their eyes do not work properly. Mirrors would not exist to aid us while driving to view blind spots. People would have trouble keeping their houses a desired temperature without fiberglass, which is utilized in insulation. Glass is so much more than windows and decoration. It has become one of the most versatile engineered materials today. Structurally, glass is an interesting material. It is an amorphous ceramic. Amorphous means that its structure does not follow any pattern like crystalline structures do. It is highly disorganized as demonstrated in the image to the left. Quartz's structure appears nearly perfect, whereas glass seems to be random and disorganized. A ceramic is an inorganic, non-metallic solid made up of either metal or non-metal compounds that are shaped and then hardened by heating to a high temperature. The primary bonding within glass is ionic bonds. Ionic bonds are between metallic and non-metallic elements on the periodic table. Glass has an extremely high melting temperature, as hinted to before. Its melting temperature is 1400 to 1600 degrees Celsius. Glass does not have a high fracture point, nor does it plastically deform. It only deforms elastically and then breaks when the stress becomes too high. This means it's a brittle material. Obviously, there are many different types of glass, so mechanical properties can change depending on each type, as shown in the images to the left. There's annealed, tempered, and laminated glass, and they all fracture different as shown in the images. That's what makes glass so intriguing. Each type can have different mechanical strengths, colors, refractive indexes, thermal properties, and sound insulating properties. Refractive index is the ratio of speed of light in a vacuum to that light in a particular material. This is the most common and arguably the most important optic property for glass. The average glass refractive index is 1.5. This means the light intensity only decreases by 4% as it passes through glass. This is one of the factors that makes glass a great material for windows and lenses in glasses. Finally, I'm going to talk about the best part about glass. It is 100% recyclable. Although it is a difficult material to create from its raw elements, once it's produced, it can be reused time and time again. Now I'm going to go into the process of recycling glass. Old glass is broken down into smaller pieces called cutlet. The cutlet is sorted, crushed, and cleaned. This mixture is then mixed with some other materials like sand and soda ash before it is melted down to make new glass. Recycling is one of the benefits of glass because the glass manufacturing process emits carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is the only greenhouse gas released, but sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides can lead to acidification and the formation of smog. Some other side effects of glass production are water pollution, use of non-recyclable materials, as well as production of solid waste. These side effects are also hard to control. When one side effect, like water pollution, is reduced, another one, like solid waste production, is increased, so it's really hard to reduce all of the negative side effects of glass production. That's why glass being so recyclable is really important. Recycling glass saves energy. The process of melting glass down to reuse it uses significantly less energy than creating glass from its raw materials. The cutlet has a lower melting temperature. Because of this, it reduces air pollution by 20% and water pollution by 50%. It also reduces physical waste in landfills. Glass will sit in landfills and become a safety hazard while they decompose slowly. Besides being recyclable, glass has a smaller carbon footprint than other materials like aluminum and PET. If glass is not recycled, though, there will not be harmful chemicals decomposing back into the earth, just its raw, natural materials. Because of this, glass is an environmentally friendly material. Glass is a very interesting material when it comes to its characteristics on every level. It is one of the oldest materials and will continue to be used in the future.